ladies and gentlemen, I would not say this is really keynote address. I know that this is the topic very close to Professor Roll's heart, and you know that about she got a special, you know, that the insight about certain areas, the special areas of entrepreneurship. I know that how she loves. Now, I made little changes about the topic. Initially, it was a little bit longer topic, but I thought that rather than talking too much about different areas, my focus will be just the model I have been working for the last couple of years. Initially, a small research has been carried out by Mark T. Jones and I. Unfortunately, he's not with us at this stage. And that was the inspirations because the article was the mindset of the entrepreneurial mindset. So that actually helped me to look at, to understand that the type of mindset the entrepreneurs may have by understanding the context. Means the East-West. My main intention was to see whether the differences between the Western entrepreneurial mindset and Eastern entrepreneurial mindset, the particular reference to India. So therefore, the model is based on 7 mindset, and this 7 mindset actually based on extensive literature on entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial mindset. But this is not any empirical study. That is based on systematic literature review. We have developed this conceptual framework. My main intention today, just to share this conceptual framework with you, and my next stage will be that do some empirical study to test that model to see whether these 7 mindsets are that valid, or maybe there are some other things come up. So if you look at this, the topic is heptagon of successful entrepreneurial mindset. Now, entrepreneurship, you all understand the growth, prosperity, success, GDP, whatever we say, the national success, everything nowadays is depending on the entrepreneurial spirit. I think most of the small organizations, they're contributing. They're the main engine of economic growth and GDP worldwide. I think the more we have seen the number of articles today, the creativity, innovation, risk, and challenge, all these are helping us to become more dynamic, to look at through the lens of problems and challenges, how we can bring innovation, the reinventing the way we are thinking. So reinventing everything, the ways we are moving, our strategies, our policies, our practices, our procedures, or way of thinking, and bringing something new. And as the world is dramatically changing, and they're changing so rapidly, and if we don't change in order to cope and adapt with the changes, with the challenge, with the environment, means we can become the victim of natural selection, normal process. So my intention, the main key question here, let me see whether it seems that I don't see. Now it's here. So what is special about the mindset of people to become a successful entrepreneur? That you can see one of the, that picture I have actually brought here, some of you know. Yeah, I'm sure that especially the colleagues from Medgar Evers College, they obviously they know. And I met that lady 3 years back in New York. And that is the time we worked and looked at that. Let us see whether we can find out some way to develop a certain model to understand how the entrepreneurs behave and what are the key attributes actually helping them to become the most successful. It's not only most successful in terms of monetary that criteria, but in all aspects. Creating employment, that expanding the business, contributing to the society, contributing to the planet, and all as all other ways. So now The first three slides, I hope that you can see, it seems that little bit blur. These figures and statistics to bring, to understand where India is standing at the moment. If you look at the global entrepreneurship, the index ranking 2018, then you can see the number one country is United States. I don't say especially India here. Now, Switzerland number 2, Canada number 3, and UK is being number 4. My intention was to see where India is sitting at this stage. Now, if I look at the next slide, you can see India is in now 68 ranking. It's quite interesting. And this JD Institute has gathered and provided this entrepreneurship ranking every year that shows the way the different countries actually moving and supporting their entrepreneurs, creating a special environment. Now, next slide. Also, this is a Global Entrepreneurship Monitors Institute. Actually, they produce the yearly National Entrepreneurship Content Index. And that is purely based on the national context to understand how national government and society within the specific country creating a special environment for the people, aspiring people to start their business and become entrepreneurs, or to see entrepreneurial, that contributions. There are certain criteria which actually look at this. That is like government support in terms of finance, government policies, bureaucracy, crimes, and so on. I think around 12 criteria. Based on 12 criteria, they are assessing. Now, my intention again, showing this, that slide to understand where is India. Now you can see India is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th ranking. So means in the Indian government for the last few years, they're creating a very proactive environment and also showing a very positive attitude to create that type of inclusive environment for the entrepreneur. Now, let's shortcut. Now, if I look at the social entrepreneurship ranking in 2019, India became 46th, even though India has the highest opportunities to create social entrepreneurship because the types of problems, the social problems they have in India, but still as a country, they failed to create the type of the entrepreneurial spirit. Now, it is just to show you what is happening in Indian context as my intention to see that the entrepreneurs in India, the way they're moving and the type of entrepreneurial mindset they have. Now, look at this. I'm sure that you know all these things, starting from the early 20th century. The Henry Ford, the Empire to, if you look at that, one of the vibrant entrepreneurs in the UK, and then you can see in USA, Jack Ma, you can say again, Warren Buffett, and we have, I just forgot one very interesting slide I could not just include here, the Ratan Tata, one of the, the man, he's not only a successful entrepreneur, but when you talk about Ratan Tata, we say a man of wisdom. We say a man of ethics. We say a man of transparency and the values. And many top, the billionaires, even still now, respect him that way. That he's not only a businessman, but a man with the many good attributes. And especially I was mentioning, obviously, Dr. Yunus, Anita Radik. And the last person, actually, this presentation inspired by that last one. I'm sure that my colleagues, our colleagues at, Medgar Evers College, they quickly can recognize that. Lorna Hawthorne, she's the owner of what's the restaurant called Golden Crust. That is the Caribbean restaurant. And she was telling her story. The way she started the restaurant in that with one restaurant, and then had the period of struggle due to the recessions, and their problems and challenges even near to broke, and how she again revamp the situations. This is not a story of entrepreneurs. I think this is, you can say, a seismic event for her, to a journey which is not even that with huge challenges, and how it's then become one of the most successful the businesses. That actually triggered me to look at what actually drives the top entrepreneurs. Now, I'm not going to go through this. Is all this based on the extensive literature review? What are the attributes we found? I may the intention to share this heptagon. These heptagon, we feel that the various literature, the looking at the various attributes. What we did, we did the content analysis and looked at those various attributes, and we scaled them. And then we have identified that the number of articles or number of research within Indian context and also within developed countries context. So we ranked them that way. We saw that how many attributes actually mentioned by the number of research papers. So based on this, we have identified these are the 7 are the most important attributes. So now, obviously, our main intention to go through and do the empirical research. Number 1, we found a very interesting dream. I think that Lorna Hawthorne, she was talking about a great dream. Our biggest problem nowadays, I think for the whole world, is not that we don't have resources. I'm sure that you all know what Gandhi said, the resources are not the problems, because our greed, our unethical behavior is causing the huge problem for the world. But I felt that for the young generations, one of the biggest problem nowadays that they don't have the dream. Dream always help us to move forward with aspirations, with creativity, with challenges, and with in the positivity. So I'm not going to just discuss. There are various attributes we have identified under dream propositions, but my discussion just to introduce you those elements. Now let's go through this dream. Richard Branson actually stated very interesting the points about the dream. Dreaming is one of humanity's greatest gifts. It champions aspirations, spurs innovation, leads to change, and propels us forward. So I'm not going to read the whole things. That is, I think, one of the biggest problem, and that is become as the number 1 priority. That based on our systematic, my systematic literature review, it's become the number 1 attributes. Now, looking at the next one, I think what I'll do, let me just stay here rather than going through each and every slides. The vision and the focus, because once you have the dreams, you understand the vision is becoming the second notion. In order to achieve something big, something aspiring, something interesting, something important, not only for you, for the whole society, it is someone who must have a great vision and aspiration. I think vision is led by the dreams. The dream is the engine of having the great visions. Nowadays, we don't have that wider visions and focus, because the focus in that sense, that many commitments, many things are coming nowadays. You can see the people, the way they're spending their times, they become the multi-task oriented. And therefore, we don't become now, you don't see that many people become really oblivious just to focus on something. I think these aspirations and focus is vital to fulfill certain dreams. And if you don't have dreams, that's why the people don't have vision and focus. And the people with the vision and focus, they become a really growth mindset. Many problems we have within the society, many problems we have within the organizations, within the politics, within even economics. That is because we have many of us, we have fixed mindset. Now, the fixed mindset people, they are less innovative, less creative, and they're happy with their own job. They don't want to take the many risks. And I have seen that many countries, many individual graduates, they don't want to see or face any challenges. I think we have to have that type of mindset, to become, that something aspirational, or to fulfill our dream. A growth mindset individual. Think about Lorna Hawthorne. I'm not going to go back all these people. She said she was accepting uncertainty. And that I don't mention one of the great minds, Marty Jones, that acceptance, what is happening now, is one of the great power for human civilization. But problem is that we don't want to accept if something happened that was not expected by us. I think accepting uncertainties, becoming adaptable, according to Charles Darwin, and become curious and creative, and also to become positive are some of the attributes to have the full growth mindset. And then positive attitude, obviously, you can see, I think I would like to really share that book, and I'm sure that some of you, especially Professor Joan Roll, was there at the University of Oxford. Such a wonderful book. Every time you are happy, you win something. Professor Padmakuli Banerjee. I think a person with a dream, with aspiration, vision, and positive mindset, with the growth mindset, they become really positive. I think the power of positivity is there. We all must nurture that positivity. And then ambiguity tolerance. Now, how many of us can tolerate complexities? Means the ambiguity. It is not bound by categorizations. Or the people, as I said, not always comfortable with uncertainties, the problems, or the negative situations, or maybe they don't have sometimes to have the courage to accept negativity. When the high negativity, think about the COVID situations. We can't do anything. This is the situation we all must face. If we don't accept this one, that means we'll have the serious internal problems, and we will not be able to face what is happening outside. I think accepting the uncertainties, accepting the problems, and also you can see some of the presenters made huge presentation. Problems are really good. The COVID has created the huge opportunity for us, while we understand there's a lot of the painful situations created, but we have to look at the opportunity cost at the end of the day. But can we get some opportunities? We are not endorsing COVID, but what we are saying, any challenge, any opportunities, human civilizations, what they can do, they can bring innovation, they can look at different ways with a different mindset, become the visionary and see how we can address each and every problems. That will give something. Means we must have high tolerance to accept ambiguity, uncertainty, negativity, problems, so that we can bring some sensible solutions. And then next one is the spot and exploit opportunities. Spot and exploit opportunities. Now, some of you said that India has the great opportunities. Anywhere you see, even you just walk down on the road, just look at the the areas where there's a lot of dust, you can find out opportunities. Not everywhere you can see, but we are saying that any problems, any challenges, our task is to see whether there is any opportunities over there. Work ethics, the great example I have mentioned, that Ratan Tata. I think anyone, great example of the top entrepreneurs. They're working the long hours. They never ever say they're too busy. I can tell you one thing, front of Dr. Joan Roll is there. And I was telling the story, another person, that anytime I send any emails to Dr. Joan Roll, even she's so busy, but she never forget to respond. I always see that the people, they develop the habitual, ethical dimensions. I think if we can practice a habit and make it routine, you'll find out that you are towards the door of success or road of success. And all the successful entrepreneurs, they never ever say they're busy. They're always looking for opportunities. Even they don't become tired because they're led by their aspiration, their dream, their work, their ethics, and so on. So the colleagues, I wanted to just share with you this, the conceptual model. Now, what is the next? I wanted to just our next area is that I'm going to look at this conceptual model, identify the attributes and the items, the three tiers and methodological aspect, that a survey will be carried out, the focus group, and then of course the most important is the in-depth interviews, and followed by the normal interviews with the entrepreneurs, just to go or take the views about the various attributes in relation to the 7 dimensions of entrepreneurial mindset. And I'm sure that very soon we'll be able to present the second, the development that based on this model. That will be the empirical. That's all from me. I hope that I am within that